Hey, and welcome to problem 2 on the ants project. So in this problem, we're going to complete the init constructor for the place class. And sort of what this place class really is like each sort of position in this diagram here can be considered a place. And every place has an exit and then an entrance over here. So the exit is sort of the place that occurs before the current place that we're looking at, and then the entrance is sort of the place after that, right after that. Um, so currently, if you look at the Python file, you'll see that a place only keeps track of its exit value, but we also want the place to keep track of the entrance. So every place has one entrance for that matter. And this will be useful later on in the project. So it's a super important sort of problem to work on. And basically, the reason why this problem is not as simple as it seems is because when we just pass in an entrance to the place constructor, this would be a bit of an issue because let's say it's like place number 8 over here. If we try to pass an entrance to that, we need the entrance as well as the exit from before, like while creating the place. But that is a problem because when we create a new place here, we don't really have the entrance already existing. Like there's nothing to the right of that. And so that's why it's sort of like a chicken or the egg problem of like which comes first. But don't worry, like we have a solution to that. And to get around this, what we're going to do is use this logic. So in the init function, we kind of automatically set the entrance of the place as none. But what we do after that is if the place has an exit, so if exit is not equal to none, then the exit's entrance, so we go into the exit and then set the entrance value equal to place. So that's sort of how we do it. So like if it's place 3, for example, the turn object is place 3. We start with the entrance of place 3 as none, but then because place 3 has an exit, which is place number 2, um, we set the exit's entrance. So the entrance of place number 2, we set it to place 3. So we kind of go back one spot and then set the entrance to the current object that we have. A few hints. One is that when the init method is called, so when a constructor for a class is called, the first parameter, which is self, is always sort of referring to the newly created object, so like your current object that you're creating. And another thing is that the places aren't really stored in a list. So you can't really like index something to access the places or to like access the neighboring places. So how can you sort of move from one place to another? And to kind of just give a little bit of a hint, like if you look at the place class in the Python file, uh, there's a few things that we need to do. One thing is like we automatically set the entrance here to none, which is totally fine as per the problem. The next thing we need to do within here is kind of go to the exit and then set the entrance of the exit to the current place. So as we talked about earlier, you can find the current place by using the self parameter. So that's one thing. And the other thing is if the place has an exit. So if self.exit is not equal to none, then how can you set the entrance of self.exit to the current place? So if we have the current place as self, how do we access the entrance of the self.exit? So think about how you sort of access like a attribute of an object, like how we've been doing it before, and maybe try to use that to kind of solve this problem. So it's actually not a very difficult problem. We can do it in one or two lines of code, maybe, or like in a pretty short piece of code. So think about how you can access the entrance of the current object's exit and then set the entrance equal to the current object, which is as we've seen before, is probably referred to by self. So yeah, good luck on problem 2. Hopefully that made sense. Thank you.